school TV show. My name is Traylon Shaw. I am one of the grade 8 students who loves to read. I am interviewing students and staff because Wilson needs to win the Indigo grant. This is Aiden 9. He is a grade 7 student. How does reading in school help you?
Social skills, talking to people, writing in LA.
Do you believe there are enough updated books in our library?
Yes, I'd just like to see a newer variety of books in my area of interest and newly published books.
Okay. How would a classroom library benefit you?
It would be a lot easier to access, and we just go from class. If we wanted a book in the middle of class, then we just grab it, go. But rather than having to walk down to the library, get them, check them out for a whole period, and end up going back up and having no time to read or do anything.
This is Miss Connie Wall. She is our librarian. What do you like best about our library?
Well, I'm excited because we do have a fair amount of materials. I love interacting with students and promoting reading and getting kids excited about literacy.
In the past, the library has been weeded. How has this helped students?
Studies have shown that when shelves are full of outdated books, students are not inclined to take the books out. They're not inspired to read the books. So if we have current materials on our shelves, kids want to take out the books, they're more passionate, and reading is promoted more successfully.
How would having a classroom library help the students?
Having a classroom library would enable students to have books at their fingertips. When they're finished an assignment and have some spare time, they could just pull a book out and look at it rather than having to walk down to the library, sign a book out, take it all the way back. So it would just enable reading.
How would winning the Indigo grant change Wilson?
Winning the Indigo grant would enable us to buy more current books, not only for our library, but to create classroom libraries. Currently, our budget is very small. The budget is spent quite often in September or October, and books are published throughout the year, and we're not able to purchase those books because we've run out of budget, and we would like to have more current issues on our shelves, possible multiple issues, and again, expansion of the classroom libraries. Right now, we do have grade level libraries at 6, 7, and 8, but there's only one collection of books that has to get rotated through six classes of each grade. It would be nice to have a library in each individual classroom.
Yeah. How has teaching a reading class changed the way you use books?
When students come into the library, I like to do book talks, and this really encourages students to read. It gets them excited about reading the new material, excited about reading a story. It creates conversation about books, and just a general excitement that encourages literacy.
Okay. This is Aroma Fagani. She is in grade 6. What do you like best about a library?
I like that all the books are divided into sections, so when you need specific books, you can find it in each section.
How would a classroom library benefit you?
It would benefit because when you need books, at the time, you can just take it from the classroom, and if you're in the grade 6 hallway, you don't have to go all the way to grade 8 and get books.
How does reading in school help you?
It helps with spelling, it helps with reading comprehension, and if students aren't, if they have ESL, they can get better in English, because I'm not from Canada too.
Okay. If Wilson won the Indigo grant, how would you like to see the money spent?
I would like to see the money spent in more copies of books, because there's only one copy, and I like to take my books to my sister and my mom, and so more variety of books too.
Do you believe there are enough up-to-date books?
We do have some, but I would like to see more because they're already in other libraries, so I would like to see newer books in our library.
Okay. This is Miss Michelle Hood. She is a grade 6 teacher. Oh. How would having a classroom library benefit your students?
Having a classroom library would be amazing for my students. Currently, I teach grade 6, and within my grade 6 classroom, I have a demographic of anywhere from pre-K level readers to grade 10 level readers. And so to be able to have books in that classroom that could cater to all of them and give them the opportunity when I ask them to go grab a book that they could choose one that they can actually read and comprehend and have a variety of selections, it would just be amazing for the group of kids that I have.
How would winning the Indigo grant change Wilson?
Winning the Indigo grant would change Wilson in an incredible amount of ways. It would allow opportunities for teachers to build classroom libraries so that they could help all of the students at different reading levels in their classroom, but it would also help put books on our shelves in the library that are more current and up to date, and books that kids have been looking for and waiting to be released, because we don't always get the opportunity to get those, and also get multiple copies of those books so that when a child is interested, they don't have to wait for it to be returned. And it would just really grow our library and I think bring our school together.
Yep, I totally agree. How is teaching a reading class help change the way you use books?
Being able to teach the literacy class has been a really unique opportunity, and it's been great because I've seen that although I have different levels of readers, literacy can be incorporated across curriculum, so I don't only have to incorporate it into language arts, I can use it for social or science or math, and it's really opened my eyes to use reading for leisurely purposes too, and not always have to have assignments given to students when they are reading, and they seem to be able to take in the information and enjoy it a lot more when they're doing it for their own pleasure. And it's enabled me to be able to use books in a really unique way to differentiate my instruction that I've never been able to do before.
Okay. This is Catherine Head. She is a grade 7 student. What do you like best about our library, Catherine?
Our library has a great variety of books, but I'd like to see more.
Yeah. If Wilson won the Indigo grant, how would you like to see the money spent?
I'd like to see newer books coming into our library because other people have the newer books, but we don't.
Yeah. Do you believe there are enough up-to-date books in our library?
I don't find that there is. We have a lot of good old ones, but we need some newer ones.
What kind of books would you like to see in our library?
I'd like to see some suspense, some action, some fast reading ones.
Okay. This is Mr. Dean Hawkins, our principal. What do you like best about our library?
What do I like most about our library? I like the fact that our library is the hub of our school, and we want our library to be the literacy hub. We want to involve more technology in our library.
What do you like best about our reading classes?
What do I like best? I like the fact that literacy is becoming the #1 thing in our school, and we're all reading at the same time.
Why is it so important to develop strong reading skills for Wilson students?
Well, literacy is in all of subject areas, so whether it's math or science or language or social.
How would winning the Indigo grant change Wilson?
Winning the Indigo grant would help improve the technology in our library, would improve the fact that we could weed out way more of our older books and have more books available in each classroom.
Okay. This is Derek Ressler. He is one of the teachers here at Wilson. What do you like best about our library, Derek?
It's a place where our kids can go feel safe. They have a great place to read and access a wide variety of books, and our librarian is very good at finding books that match not only students' interest levels, but the reading levels as well. Got a great resource there, and it's just terrific for kids to go and read.
How has teaching a reading class changed the way you use books?
I use books in lots of different ways, both in a literacy class and in my language arts class. We do novel studies, we do independent novel studies, we read to the students directly. It's just a way to introduce students more and more to literature, more and more to reading and those fundamentals of reading and skills that are going to stick with them throughout their life.
In the past, the library has been weeded. How has this helped students?
Well, one of the things that happens when we weed the library is those books can now be utilized directly in the classroom. And that's one of the nice things. We can take some of those books and bring them directly into classrooms. Teachers can have access to them, and students can have direct access to a book for a long period of time. Not everybody reads at the same pace, so it's nice for students to be able to take one book and read it for consistent time, and they can stay with the same book rather than having to return it every couple of weeks, and that way they're not really getting into the story. This way they can really fully enjoy the book and fully interpret the book.
Okay. How would having a classroom library benefit your students?
I think in just that way. It's a way that they can access one book for a given period of time. They can read that book. They don't have to go down to the library all the time to renew it. But they also get to get deep into that book. And that's one of the big things about literacy is being able to complete the story rather than just to read a little bit of it. This way they can focus on the entire story, they can read the whole thing, and really get into books. And that's the whole point of books, is getting into them, getting into the story. Sometimes it takes a little time to get to that point, and this allows kids to have that opportunity to get there.
Why is it so important to develop strong reading skills for Wilson students?
Well, literacy cuts across all curriculum areas. It doesn't matter which class you're in, social studies, math, science, phys ed even. There's all sorts of classes that you need to be able to read and read well in order to get the material, get the information, do well on tests, and be able to access the information that you need to access.
How would winning the Indigo grant change Wilson?
I think it's really going to be important to be able to get more of those books, not only for our library, but for our classroom libraries as well. It's one of the things that we're lacking here is classroom libraries, because they are expensive. And this way we would be able to better provide for our students in the classroom, be better to meet the individual learning needs of our students. Some students read lots of books on their own and some don't, and this is a way that we can really allow them to have their own book. And at times, if these books have been officially taken out of circulation in the library, there's times where a book can really touch a student, and we can actually give them that book at that time. And that's one of the greatest things about reading, is hooking a kid and getting that information there, and making them a lifelong lover of literature.
Okay. This is Alyssa Latondre. She's a grade 7 student. What do you like best about our library?
Well, we have quite a bit of variety of books, but we don't have quite enough new books, and yeah.
What kind of books would you like to see in our
A
library?
little bit more action, and we don't have enough more like the comedy kind of books or the funny books.
This is Serena Lackey. She's a grade 8 student. What do you like best about our library?
That we have different reading level books in there, and comics and magazines.
Do you believe there are enough up-to-date books in our library?
No, because we have older books, so some newly published books would be nicer.
If Wilson won the Indigo grant, how would you like to see the money spent?
On newer books and the books that are broken up to be replaced.
As a library user, is there anything that annoys you about our library?
That many books are being broken and drawn on.
How would a classroom library benefit you?
Well, and during class, when we have free time, we can read, and sometimes we don't have a book from the library, so we can get it from our classroom.
What kind of books would you like to see in our library?
I'd like to see more futuristic and adventure and mystery books.
How does reading in school help you?
Well, reading is everywhere, so it's really helpful to know how to read.
Okay. This is Miss Kendra Ono. She is a grade 8 teacher. In the recent past, the library has been weeded. How has this helped students?
Wow, just like the famous saying, out with the old, in with the new. It's very important that as times are changing, and changing actually very quickly, it's important that we continue to weed out what's not important and continue to bring in newly published books.
How has teaching a reading class changed the way you use books?
Well, I love to read, and just being able to provide kids with those opportunities to read is just great. I love my book talks with my students, and I actually read mostly teen fiction and teen nonfiction as well. So I can keep up to date with what's going on in that, and I can just get them hooked on reading.
How would having a classroom library benefit your students?
The best thing ever for our students to have a classroom library, and for me too, for kids to have access to a book at any time of the day would be awesome.
Even just a box of books?
Even just a box of books would be great.
Why is it so important to develop strong reading skills for Wilson students?
Well, being able to read well carries over into all curricular subjects. It could be math, science, social studies, phys ed, could also be maybe a second language. Being able to read, understand what it is that you're reading would carry over into all aspects of life.
How would winning the Indigo grant change Wilson?
It would be a fabulous opportunity for our students. We need the resources, so we need the money to be able to continue to keep up with the newly published books that are coming out monthly, and having an opportunity with that money would give great benefits to all of our students.
This is Ashton Bodner, a grade 8 student. What do you like best about our library, Ashton?
There's a lot of different kinds of books, and it's easy to find something that you're interested in.
If Wilson won the Indigo grant, how would you like to see the money spent?
On books of all different types and series and genres, it would just be nice to have a lot of books.
How would a classroom library benefit you?
It would give us easy access to books so that when we're done all our work, we could just grab a book and start reading.
What kind of books would you like to see in our library?
All different kinds of books, chapter books and mysteries and detective books are all really fun to read.
Thanks for watching our TV show. I hope Wilson wins the Indigo grant.
Perfect.
And it didn't even wear green.
I need you guys. Yeah, good thing you're not wearing green.
It's a good thing I didn't
Both of
even
you this way. Both of you this way a little bit more. Go, Trey. That's right. Not
Don't
that far.
touch.
Listen.
Okay. Okay, you're good. Whenever you want.
What's your first name?
My name is.
Derek. I know.
Thanks, Trey.
I think that's good, guys. Yeah, nicely done. Thank
You're free
you.
to go.
Good work there, Dean.
Thanks.
Who's
Hey,
next?
who wants to go next?
You want to jump up there next to her?
This is Michelle Hood. She is a grade 6 student and 7.
I'm not a grade 6 student, so we're going to have to go
She may
back.
look like a grade 6 student,
Yeah.
but she's actually a teacher.
like one.
Teacher.
Oh, we're off to a great start
All right.
today.
Hey, there's your one
Just-
take. You're
just
done.
your-
Yeah.
just one take.
Okay.
Now.
Back up there.